$600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got DeMornay Pierson-El, the former Husker himself, joining us. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. Starter Heeman text line. Comments on any of the streams as well. That's Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. All great ways to do so. Plenty of things to talk about. Tell you what, I'm sure there's plenty of things to talk about yesterday, but we also had some big news dropping today. We'll dive into all of it. DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going on a rainy Tuesday?
Not too bad. It feels like a Wednesday, but almost there.
Yeah, I got a ways yet. Almost. Not really. No, almost the hump day.
It felt like a Wednesday to me, at least.
Well, I'm not going to say I wish. This job, it's a great job to have, so I'm not even going to complain. With some of the news I want to talk about, though, speaking of it being a great day, Nebraska baseball, 16, depending on what rankings you're looking at. They get a win versus Kansas State in their midweek game, 6-7. It came all the way down to the bottom of the ninth. Nebraska was able to go ahead and get one run. And shout out to Unger, who's just putting a dominant season. I know he's on the watch list currently to be the midseason or the stopper award. Let me get the official title for that. But basically, just who's your pitcher who's got ice in the veins, who can come out there and stop the game, stop runs, and go get the guys a win. That's what happened. Unger goes out there, doesn't allow any runs. Like I said, Nebraska's able to creep back, get a run 7-6, which you only have a series versus Ohio State now, a series versus Iowa, a series versus Minnesota, and then a midweek game versus Creighton. And you win all those series, plus your midweek versus Creighton, you can maybe drop the Friday or Saturday, but win 2 of the 3. DeMornay Pierson-El, we're probably talking about Nebraska baseball actually hosting a regionals right here in Lincoln.
And that would be insane. The state needs it. The college needs it. Welcome to the Midwest. It's a wonderful venue. Hopefully they make it happen.
Feel pretty good right now. Of course, they still got to keep playing, but again, it's just good to see a team respond. Kansas State gets up on you. How do you act? Keep cool, put in Unger, ice in the veins, like I said, shut it down, and Nebraska comes right back and rips their soul out at the very end of the game there. And this is the trend of this Nebraska team that probably enjoyed the most this season. This is a hard team to put away. We saw it at its finest point versus USC on that Friday game where I think it was like 8-2, 8-0, something ridiculous, and they came screaming all the way back to win it. We saw it again tonight with Kansas State, where it's crappy weather. I'm sure everybody just wanted to go home, including the fans. It was cold, kind of windy, rainy, wet. If they knew Kansas State probably want to get out of there too. And they said, we can do that right here for you. Bottom of the ninth, we'll take that. And it's just, I don't know what that is as an athlete. Like, DeMornay, could you tell that on football? No, it's a different sport with on some years teams than others where there's just this attitude of
it's a not that it's a don't quit, but it's just like, here comes a storm. And it's like, you can't think these guys are out of it. They catch that second wind or whatnot, and they're coming in, guns blazing. And I mean, it's not every team has it, but you see the teams in crunch times that were just doing that. I mean, look at Notre Dame in the football sense. Look at Notre Dame a few years ago where they just, rattled off into the college playoffs and whatnot. Look at Miami, they rattled off A&M. A&M, showed signs of that and everything like that. It's built, that they have that there. They can lean on that or whatnot. And you kind of like to see that because it's like, hey, we're not out of this thing. All we need is, a few things to go our way or, something to jumpstart it. And, it's off to the races.
Absolutely. And to clarify, it is the midseason stopper on Unger, the pitcher for Nebraska. He is currently on the watch list for the NCBWA midseason stopper award watch list, and rightfully so. And to your point, I think that's what you want in every team, and I don't know if every team can fully embody that.
You want it to peak at the right time.
Yeah. Like right now, Nebraska is able to take some real punches to the chin and get back up and still go right back at you. Not every team's like that. Some teams are going to get knocked in the mouth and they're going to drop and fall down, and they're not going to be able to recover. Teams don't want to play teams like Nebraska either, or teams like you've had in some of your past with Bo Pelini, where it's like, even if we're up, this Nebraska team, they're not going to go anywhere. Even if they lose the game, like they're going to keep playing all the way to the end of the whistle. So we can't take our foot off the gas no matter what. Even if we win the game, it's going to be a hard fought battle, even if we're up 2 scores, because we're not going to be able to ever relax. And that's just the same thing I get with this baseball team. So I'm super excited. Hopefully they keep winning. And then obviously softball, my Lord, buzzsaw in the world of women's softball. They're favorite to host.
Good luck.
Rightfully so. Should be a lot of fun. And speaking of regionals, and I kind of wanted to carry off on what I talked about with Raph here as well. Demorne, how do you feel about the 64 team selections that they do for regionals in baseball?
I like it. I think it's a fair assessment. You have to work hard. Everybody can't get a participation award. I mean, 64 is the number to you have to be elite to get. Some people are left out. It happens. Life's unfair.
Well, what if I wanted to make it 76 teams? Are you on board?
No.
Me neither. Stupid idea. It's perfect. 64 teams is exactly where you want to keep
it. Again, they are messing around with things that don't need the attention to be fooled with. It's, we got this big blaring issue. Yeah, we're going to ignore that one and we're going to change this because this one makes more sense.
You have the exact same take as Raph right now, and we'll dive into it. And what we're referring to here, because I'm pretty positive you're on the same wavelength here. Yep. NCAA basketball tournament set to move to 76 teams, not 2 years, not 5 years from now, next year, this upcoming season. 76 teams, unless something drastically changes where they revert their decision.
Oh, just think of how many more gambling commercials we're going to see. Just great.
About Sorsby later, too, by the way, speaking of gambling, and why this stuff's just outrageous. My Lord, this is my whole beef with it. Okay, so the NCAA, not the best reputation. Way to keep finding ways to ruin that reputation. You said it. There's a million things to fix right now. We'll talk about the Sorsby gambling problem. We can talk about NIL problems. We can talk about the lawsuits going on back and forth. You got another player on the Lions right now currently trying to sue the Big Ten for not representing him in NIL. I mean, it's a mess. And you're still trying to figure out, do we do 5 years of eligibility where if they graduate, it starts, or by the time they turn 19 years old, that 5 years start? You got a million things in the crock pot that need to be figured out right now. Screw that. Let's just figure out how to make more money. Let's bump the NCAA tournament to 76 team for both men and women's basketball starting next year. The priority was on making more money. That's the only thing that this thing reads to me. That's my take on it.
That is it. It's cash grab.
Have you heard one person that likes the idea of expanding the playoffs?
No, I mean, I know the news came today, and I've seen some things, but I haven't seen anything to where it's like, oh, this is great. Like, this is more games. This is more time. You're not taking away any games in the regular season. Like, we can't to make things better or whatnot. We can't put a 2-year minimum, at least where basketball has to stay. No, we're skipping right over that and just giving you more games, and we still might take away the whole eligibility thing where you still got 5 years. So some of these guys might be ineligible if things go down the path that they are. So no, I haven't seen anybody that says that they're for it.
Well, and that's just it. Like, what are we fixing here? Because what do we have this year?
The rich get richer. That's all it is.
Yeah. What we had, like, it's not like a school like Auburn, who probably would get in because now it's 76 teams, was going to do anything. We had 2 1 seeds, a 2 seed, and Illinois was the highest seed at 3. Last year, I think it was all 1 seeds. The year before that, it was 1s. I think you had maybe a 4 was in there. I mean, it's you don't ever really see high seeds in there. It's not like we're adding some extra chaos that even if you think it's not fair, it's entertainment.
I think that the chaos, because if that's 2 extra games that they're adding in.
I believe so, yeah.
So the top 4 teams don't play. So are you saying like the top probably 6 to 8 teams won't play first round or whatnot? I mean, so are you planning to have more upsets because the top seed teams get a little bit more rest and the teams that kind of rest more kind of don't come out as strong and everything like that? There's that. Again, I mean, I think that plays into the gambling situation stuff with Vegas and whatnot. I'm not too sure on this. With the NCAA tournament, do the conferences get some type of kickback, or is that all just NCAA stuff?
Conferences get kickback?
Yes,
they do.
Okay,
so it's not. Hey, let's be fair here. Good point.
Now, with the kickback to the conference, where exactly does that go?
It's not really well said on this article. So if you guys want to read about it,
where does that really go? I mean, if it's not going to NIL, I mean, is that Big Ten officials? Is that the people that run headquarters out of Chicago? Like, what exactly happens after that is distributed? Like, is that bigger business for the Big Ten schools? Is that better deals? Is that better brands or more money for brands or like what's going on with that?
It's money for the conferences. I mean, I think that's what it is. It's going to be so. This is how Peter Thamel, and you can read about it on ESPN. This is his article, and I'm reading off here. He says, according to the NCAA, the primary driver of this move hasn't been money, but rather access for at-large bids for power conferences. The expansion has been pushed by power conferences, which have grown throughout the course of the current deal. So what he's getting is it's the Big Ten or SEC or ACC. It's the power conferences pushing for this.
How does it benefit them?
Money. I'm assuming. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the idea of have access for at-large bids for power conferences. You just get more teams in there. Like, that's the idea. More teams, more money. If your team's in there, you get more money. It's money. Well, which is why this line's funny. The primary driver of this move hasn't been money.
And regardless, it's money. It just depends on from who's it coming from, money wise. Regardless, the NCAA is making money. They're definitely getting their take. And oh no, like, I mean, come on now. That's smokescreen, not believing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a way to say that it's not about money, but access to get into the tournament. Why would you want to get into the tournament? Well, you make more money. So that's why. This is how it would work. The expansion would lead to an additional 8 men's game, meaning the Tuesday and Wednesday of the NCAA tournament would feature 24 of the 76 men's teams. That number 1 now includes 8 teams that would have qualified for the traditional bracket, would square off against the 8 at-large additions.
So you're punishing the number 1 seeds by giving them a cakewalk game?
Well, not 1 seeds. This includes 8 teams that would have qualified for the traditional bracket. And they would now have to square off.
Again, so kind of like the play-in type situation.
It's just a bigger play-in.
So they play each other and move on, and then you get seeded after the first 2 games.
Yeah, I think that's the way I'm reading it. But yeah, it's going to be like the play-in essentially.
Still not a fan.
Nobody is.
Like it's like not to say who wants to see that, but again, I mean, everybody kind of it's you can include in more, but no, you're getting you have so wolf hiding in sheep's clothing. Like, yeah, more people can play and this and that. Yeah, but you're making more money.
Exactly. Period.
It's
again, where was the outcry for this to get done?
I haven't seen really any coach come out and say that. I mean, college basketball coaches are definitely outspoken, and they will then have no issue with speaking their minds. I have not heard anything from anyone.
Exactly. And we know the NCAA requires a whole lot of hooting and hollering before they move an inch. No one asked. The power conferences were asking. I think the NCAA says, like, that's not a bad idea. We can make more money. Okay, we'll hear you out. If you're asking for change that will help athletes and not make money,
they'll push it down the line. They don't care.
They don't really listen a whole lot. When you're talking about opportunities,
lining their pockets, we're all in.
What's that? It might devalue the regular season. Who cares? We'll do it. I get sick and tired of these decisions more than because it's sometimes it's just so blatant in front of your face that, again, like this is one that there might be some people out there that wanted this. Everyone I've talked to in person or through text does not want this, does not care for it, thinks it's stupid. If I'm going to quote some of their words and not quote some of the more aggressive words that they've texted or said to me, there's most blatant, just kind of power conferences, once again, abusing their power or making decisions simply not to grow the game or do anything to really help advance the game, just purely to make more money. Like these are universities. I'm tired of these
power decisions. Like who all?
Well, I'm just tired of acting like this is a pro league and everything we do has to be about the top dollar and making sure that we keep adding more revenue to the sport. Like it's college athletics. We don't have to operate like a pro team. And now NIL, of course.
There are some aspects where I think it definitely helps the cause, but it's a new, entirely different beast. And you have to kind of get the right people in the right places to get things moving and come up with something that's, beneficial to all sides. But again, I mean, it's still a collegiate sport. It's still, educational institutions, and it goes further and further and further away from that.
That's just it. They're academic institutions. And that's the part that drives me crazy with all this. You're not the NFL. You're not the NBA. You're conferences that got together to play sports because
you're giving all these kids a lot of money and not the best help to set them up or, put in certain rules and everything like that, which would be smart to change it to make sure necessarily, one, they're not taken advantage of, which is how you've seen that happen. They don't care about that. Two, financial literacy with things and whatnot and everything like that, certain things that they have to hit. And that's all sports, not just, the big ones and everything like that. And two, incorporate, still going to school, getting a degree and doing things and everything like that. Regardless, even back then or before paying athletes was such out in the front, athletes were still getting paid, but they still, were at least doing some things. Now, other universities might have paper classes and everything like that. That's going to happen, but it was still, incorporated and things were still being upheld to somewhat of a standard. Now, what that standard is today, evidently not there.
Well, yeah. I mean, certain universities are going to do a great job. Some conferences are going to be better than others about having some integrity and about the things they care about. And they're actually going to look at, every university has their mission page. Usually like academics is like on the top row there, or like one of the very first things they mention.
Now it's our NIL bag is bigger than everybody's. First,
yeah, come here, we'll pay you a lot. If you want to go somewhere else, like that's whatever. We don't really care as long as you can get us a championship. We'll figure out the rest later. I mean, that's just the attitude I'm starting to get more and more and more, and I don't think anybody really likes it for the state of college sports. And
a quick hustle. It's not the integrity of things is almost out of it completely.
I mean, a lot of it is just completely out of control. And that all goes back to why this is all the more infuriating, because like we're talking about how out of control things are, and instead of finding ways to kind of put some brakes on, let's tinker it. Hey, let's pump the brakes. Maybe we can do some of this stuff, but let's fix what's happening now. They just keep full down sprinting down the alley, and they're just it feels like they're just digging holes all over the place, and they're going to turn around one day and just realize what an absolute mess there is now, or maybe they won't, and they'll just keep making money, because that's the thing about sports. People will watch. As much as I'm complaining about it, I'm going to watch it. Part of it because it's my job. The other part of it, it's more games. If I'm a sports fan, I'm going to watch it. But again, I never asked for it.
I mean, the NFL is the same way. I mean, they throw more games and don't really do anything to help protect, the athletes to a certain extent.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. Ironic thing about this, and this was nowhere on the notes, but I want to ask you this, and then we'll go to break. So I'm sure you're aware of the $600 million stadium renovation. You know what my least favorite part about that is? No real grass now. The one thing I was excited about the morning. The one thing. Now they're not. No real grass in 2026. Because somehow within the $600 million, that's not the budget. I don't know what to make of that. Like it just talked about the.
I do. It's not important. The money that you would have to go to dish that out to run, maintenance and on that and everything. That's not important.
It's probably better
in the seats, filling the seats and how much more bang for your buck can you get is that.
Well, I wonder that's what it is. Like if they plan to make this like a better spot venue for concerts and stuff like that. And it's like, man, if we put real grass, it's going to be damaging. I get it. But that's just a real bummer. Because again, if I'm a university, okay,
I like playing on grass way better than turf.
You and just every athlete. Yeah,
I would. I don't care if it's cold. I don't care if it's hot. I'm taking the grass. That's fine.
Doesn't cut you up. It's a lot softer on your joints. There's a reason why the Premier League soccer teams refuse to play on turf. It's not voodoo science. I mean, it just makes sense. Go run on turf and go.
Again, if it makes sense, we're going the wrong direction.
Gotta love it. So I just wanted to throw it out there because I read that and my jaw almost hit the floor. It's like
I didn't. That's the first I didn't heard that. That actually kind of pisses me off because I was very excited about grass.
I was more excited for the real grass than the $600 million stadium renovation. Like there's something about that where, again, if your interest is the athlete's health, safety, academic, I mean, real grass is up there if we're talking about players' health. That's my 2 cents. If you're excited about the $600 million renovation, you can tell me why. I just wish they would have included real grass in the budget. With that being said, we'll go ahead, throw it to break. This is the Don't Punt Hour, as always, with the morning Pierson-El 93.7 The Ticket.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Is your air conditioner ready for the hot weather ahead? Get it checked now before you really need it. Call Bryant now to schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. Stay cool and comfortable with air conditioning services from Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111 to schedule your AC check. Bryant, whatever it takes.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by no names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back in Don't Punt Hour, segment number 2. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, if you guys want to join in, you can. We still got Royals on the brick and mortar, but Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961, still great ways to put a face to the voice. Let's talk some NBA playoffs. Good morning, Pierson-El, because I know you're a big Timberwolves fan. Got some problems. Unfortunately, Anthony Edwards goes down. Maybe comes back in the next series if they can make it. But the true MVP, Nikola Jokic, currently bring the series back 3-2. Are you nervous for the Timberwolves, or you think they can hold on, just get one win while Anthony Edwards is out?
You know, I'm slightly nervous, but I think they can get one.
Let me look real quick. Who's got Nuggets are the home? Ooh, Nuggets get Game 7 though. Does that make you any more nervous?
I mean, they went to a Game 7 last year. I mean, If it gets there, maybe a little bit, but it's one game. You can get one.
I don't know if they can, DeMornay. I'll be honest. I think it's in the books for the Timberwolves. No, I'm just kidding. I have no clue. This is probably one of the best series, and it has been, unfortunately, for the past 2 years in a row. The biggest thing I hate about this series is that they're playing each other. I love watching the Nuggets play, and I love watching the Timberwolves play. They're probably two of my favorite teams to watch in the West, and that's 2 years in a row that they have to go against each other. It'd be great. I would love to see them play each other in the Western Conference Finals, not the first round, which feels like it's happening every year. And I'm sure the Timberwolves hate playing the Nuggets first round, and I'm sure the Nuggets hate playing the Timberwolves first round because it's tough to dominate an opponent you see all the time. And that's kind of what these two teams have been coming. Obviously, they're both in the West, and obviously 2 years in a row. And this one, I wouldn't be surprised, also goes into a game 7. Just tough stuff to beat teams that are really familiar with you. So that one should be interesting. I'm going to go Nuggets. I was kind of tongue-in-cheek there. Would not be surprised if the Timberwolves get one more. It is currently 3-2. The Nuggets got the win last night. But with no Anthony Edwards, that certainly spices things up a bit and maybe moves the needle in a better direction for the Nuggets. Only one season wrapped up so far. The Thunder beat the brakes off the Suns. Only sweep in the entire NBA playoffs. They win it 4-zip.
I mean, were the Suns really a challenge? No. Like, did we expect them to at least push OKC? No. Had they been matched up with a few other teams, maybe potentially, but I mean, like I wasn't expecting them to win one.
I wasn't either. I'm just surprised that they were the only team to sweep so far. Like, I thought somebody in the East might be able to pull it off. Like, I know we talked about the Magic, and it's funny, DeMorney. We were really high on the Magic early. Then late in the season hit, and we were just like,
the Magic they've been playing. Detroit, I don't know what's going on, but
I don't know either. They look like the team that we were hoping to see. Because I remember having these conversations. Like, you and me both like the Magic a lot for what they proved last year, and a guy like Banchero, if he can continue to develop, and then it just kind of fell flat, and then they clicked again right at the most important time. And now they're, like I said, they're the 8 seed in the East. And they're currently up 3-1 over the Detroit Pistons, the 1 seed. And it's not like they are winning games because the Pistons are hurt. They've had some really unfortunate injuries. I mean, a lot of it's the Magic are just being better. And they look a lot better than anyone would have anticipated. So I guess that's kind of where my surprise is with the Thunders. They were the only team to sweep. And then I'm looking over in the East, which I can never make sense of. And the Orlando Magic. I should have had that beat on file there. I need to get that one for the Magic while they're in the playoffs.
The Magic could end up turning to what New York was last year. Like, if they get past this first game, I could see them, causing some issues, or at least, on the same wavelength as what Indiana has been kind of the last few years in the playoffs. At least that.
I can see them getting into a fight with the Celtics in the semifinals. Or in the conference finals, but in the NBA championship semifinals. Because, again, I mean, if you're going to beat the Pistons, who's left to stop them? Are you really that scared of the Cavs or Raptors?
I mean, no.
Not after you beat the Pistons, like they're good teams.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much, I don't want to say easy sailing, but you like your way to the conference finals, and you'll see one or two of the other teams on the other side, depending on whichever it may be.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, not teams to like disrespect. You got to show up and play. But it's like taking beating a really tough opponent and then you roll into a maybe not so great opponent. That was a terrible analogy. I was trying to think of names.
If the Cavaliers still had Garland, like that would be a different team. But with James Harden, I just don't trust it. Like, I just don't.
No, and it's 2-2 right now. Like, it hasn't been super consistent or dominant for the Cavs or the Raptors. The Magic have been consistent against the 1 seed, and this is when it matters most. The thing that's surprising to me, though, is that defense usually travels. I don't know what's happening to the Pistons. Like, they're just getting exposed by the Magic. Their defense has not been on par to everything they showed during the regular season. So, like I said, I'll expect Magic in that one. The rest of the East, I mean, you got a 3-2 Celtics 76ers, which a little bit surprising that it's going to go to a game 6 no matter what already, potentially a game 7. 3-2, Knicks, Hawks, 2-2, Cavaliers, Raptors. I said Magic could say leading it 3-1 over the Pistons. Currently, you do have the Spurs beating the brakes off the Trailblazers, 86-65. And this one will guarantee San Antonio a ticket to the next round. Nuggets, Timberwolves, regardless of who wins, is anybody beating the Spurs in that second round?
Nah, I don't think so.
Best chance for me, I'd say Nuggets, just because.
I mean, either team that goes, if it's the Nuggets, if it's the Timberwolves, do they have a chance? Yes. Is it a huge chance? I don't think so. I think I can see it going. I can see it going if it is the Nuggets. I can see Denver, causing a problem for them. It could be similar to what we've seen with the Rockets. Like I could see that kind of issue kind of there in year 2 or year 3 with them there, just because of inexperience and everything like that. I could see that. Same thing if it's the Timberwolves, like matching up wise and everything like that. I'm sure Wemby would like Gobert more than Joker, but I think minimum, it could get to Game 6.
For sure, I think it could go Game 7 for a lot of the things that I
can see it 7, but I mean, I think 6.
Okay,
5 or 6. I'm like, okay, I can see that.
Well, the reason I went with the Nuggets too, just because it's the matchup. Like I said, I like watching Anthony Edwards too. At least this is a matchup where we've seen it throughout the regular season. Even Victor Wembanyama couldn't quite slow down Jokic, which was kind of unreal. You thought, okay, finally you're going to have someone who can slow him down.
Nope.
No. Now, Jokic was not able to slow Victor Wembanyama down on offense at all, but you take away part of his biggest asset, which is the defensive stalwart. And with Jokic, he can even kind of get through that. Now, give Victor Wembanyama 3 more years. I don't want to see it. Put everyone to shame at that point. So now's the time to strike if you're the Nuggets before the alien gets even stronger and better shooter, more skills. He's already an incredible athlete as he is, and he's very young. Get him now. As the series continues to go on, as Victor Wembanyama develops, we'll figure out fully what the alien is and can be. But the inexperience, you get the better matchup. I like that one a lot more for the sake of if you want to see the Spurs maybe get pushed a little bit. I think the Timberwolves could do it, just Leicester have a chance, because I don't know who's going to stop Wemby, and Rudy Gobert. He's going to be nullified completely by Wemby in that one. We talk about defense players of the year, man. There's 2 levels. There's Rudy, and then there's the alien, Victor Wembanyama. It's a good.
He's definitely in a different atmosphere, but I mean, I don't think you can just. Wemby is what he is, but Anthony Edwards has been on a tear too. I mean, it's been a reason he's made 2 finals in a row. Not finals, well, two Western Conference finals in a row.
Yes.
And whatnot. So I mean, I'm not just gonna say it's gonna be easy. I think, like I said, matching up wise, I think both teams are linky, both teams are tall, both teams are kind of fast-paced team. It would be interesting. I'm not doubting Ant. I'm just not.
Well, the reason why I say that too, Ant would be coming off the injury. His knee, they kind of try to keep the load management light as they were getting towards the playoffs, and now it's already kind of giving him problems in round 1. So I hope that if he is back, he's 100%. He just won't be. He'll probably be playing close.
I mean, he can still shoot it. So I mean, he don't necessarily have to turn the corner and high flying. I mean, we've seen him take over games with his shot taking. So,
listen, man, I'm a big Anthony Edwards fan.
It doesn't sound like it, but
I'm just a bigger Nuggets fan. I'll say this much. Now, if Anthony Edwards was, assuming Edwards didn't get hurt, I would much rather play the Spurs than the Timberwolves if I was Nuggets. I don't want anything to do with Timberwolves. They've been pretty built, tested, proven it. They're a tough beat in the playoffs. Like, you can't just, if they're going to make it a series, it feels like no matter what. I like playing, even though they got Victor, a lesser experienced Spurs team all day. I don't want anything to do with the Timberwolves if I'm the Nuggets. And for the obvious reasons that it was 3-1 until Anthony Edwards got hurt. So I got all the respect in the world for those guys simply for the matchup is why I think the Nuggets would do better versus Spurs. If I'm being real though, they got to get through the Timberwolves first because that series is well but anything but over, and they don't have to win one game; they have to win two.
Right. Randall, you just need a superstar performance from Julius Randle.
He give it to
and Reed, and it's it's right there. All you need to do is score one more point than them, and then that can happen.
Well, okay, so the problem with this though, if you go look in the last game for them, I think Julius Randle had a great game, and it wasn't enough to get him over the hump. Now you had some other key role players just kind of no show, and Jokic played incredible. So you got a good game out of Julius Randle. You just need a little bit more, and without Anthony Edwards, see if they can figure it out. But Julius Randle at least answered the bell, so you feel good about him. With that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to break here because I do want to talk about, obviously, Brandon Sorsby, quarterback, college football. He's got some gambling issues. We'll not just focus on him, of course, and it's a real problem. So I hope he does get help for it because it's not a thing I'm going to make fun of or joke about. That's definitely serious and seems to be a growing problem. So we'll talk about that on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Don't Punt Tower. Harrison Arns, the morning, Pierson-El. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
And if you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey everyone, this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Is your air conditioner ready for the hot weather ahead? Get it checked now before you really need it. Call Bryant now to schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. Stay cool and comfortable with air conditioning services from Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111 to schedule your AC check. Bryant, whatever it takes.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back in. Harrison Orange and the ones and twos. Final segment. Don't Punt Hour. DeMornay Pierson-El. We still got Royals on the brick and mortar. You can imagine West Coast game playing down there in Sacramento didn't start till 8:40. So that game will still be going on even through late night in Lincoln with Nick Weidman. Appreciate everybody listening. Including my brother. Shout out Everett. Watching some tornado storm watching and listening all at the same time. Great way to multitask. Always appreciate it. Shaking your head, DeMornay. You just not a fan of Storm, Jason?
Yeah, I'll pass. Nope, no thank you.
To be fair, I think he's just watching on TVs. I didn't fully look. Maybe he is driving around, but I'm with you. I'll watch it on TV. I'm not going to go drive for it.
Yeah, the movie Twister's kind of, yep, I'm good. No thank you.
Have you ever, I know this is not where I wanted to go, but quickly, you're a Virginia guy. Tornadoes not in the wheelhouse of things needing to worry about. When you got to Lincoln, did you ever manage to see one?
No. When I was growing up, I think there might have been like one or two, like in the time of like my whole entirety, like being at home, and they weren't close. They were more so like in the Maryland area randomly.
You get tornadoes up there?
Huh?
You get tornadoes up that far?
It happened, like I said, in let's just say in 18 years, it happened. Like it was a warning. It was the warnings went off like twice.
Okay.
But no, I didn't want to see them, nor even when I came to Lincoln, like no.
Well, you did good. You managed to avoid them all. So hopefully you can keep that luck up there. And I'm right there with you. I'll see it from miles away. I don't want to be anywhere near.
No,
I'll do it
close at all.
Yeah, I could be states, borders away. I'm good with that. Let's talk some, a little bit of sad news here. So, Texas Tech transfer quarterback Brendan Sorsby, obviously one of the best returning players. NCAA is investigating Sorsby's gambling, according to sources, as the organization forbids athletes from betting on both college and pro sports. At one point back in November, they reversed it. I know you and me lost our cool over it because they're going to allow college athletes to gamble on pro sports.
What do you expect?
We thought that was crazy. Well, they rescinded it, which was a good thing because now he can take time and he's getting punished for it for gambling at all, whether pro or college. Can't do it. They rescinded that in November, and smartly so. Not just you and me. There's a lot of people that made us think about it, and they heard it and they're like, as much money as we can line our pockets with.
We got this one wrong. Like we need to fix this because this could be. This is opening Pandora's box.
Yeah. So this is where he got caught. According to sources, Sorsby bet on Indiana football while redshirting for the Hoosiers. As a true freshman in 2022, a season in which he played a single game as a reserve.
How many bets?
What's that?
How many bets?
There's not a lot of detail on how many bets.
Okay.
But to the point to where he is seeking treatment, according to sources, and he is being asked to go through these things by the university. So I'm assuming more than one.
I mean, John Harbaugh sought treatment after his whole incident. So, I mean, I just seen something not too long ago where, the FBI, I think, is like opening new charges against Scary Terry. So, like, is it that level of type of like, gambling type situation involvement?
I'm assuming it's quite a bit, just because even if you're doing it for PR purposes,
is he winning? Is he not winning? Like does that factor into things? If he's winning a lot of money, does that make it worse?
No, It's all the same, winning or losing. I mean, if you're winning, he's probably. I mean, you're still gonna have to do something with the university if they catch you red-handed. Like I said, I don't know the full details if it's like serious problem.
That's the part that I would like to kind of see the full scale before, because now it's just speculation. We don't know. You know, it's been evidence of something, but exactly how big is the scale before you can really say.
Okay, well, let's just. I'll give you more. So Peter Thamel's article, again, you can go to ESPN and read it. So again, there's not a single number, but what they have, and this is just according to sources. Peter Thamel does not name the sources. So always take it with a grain of salt, but he's usually pretty reliable. So Sorsby's decision to seek treatment, according to sources, came in the wake of the discovery of Sorsby making thousands of online bets on a variety of sports via gambling app, which jeopardized his eligibility with Texas Tech. So the only number we really have from Peter Thamel is thousands.
I mean, that can be 5,000. That can be 10,000. That could that's vague. And we know clickbait will definitely, it's an attention getter. So I'm not one.
But I also think we've been pushing kids to become gambling addicts.
Easily.
So that's why I take it seriously. Now, it could just be PR. And if it is serious, I hope he gets the help he needs, because I've been lucky not to have
what is serious? What amount would you say, like, okay, that's serious?
You're wrecking your life economically.
Can you give me a number?
How much money do you have? Like, say you spent 50% of his NIL on gambling. That's a problem.
Agreed.
Because when that money dries up, what are you going to do? You're going to keep gambling. So the moment, like, everyone's going to have a different number, because
is that over 50? Is that over 75? Is that over 100? Is that over 125? Like,
I think it's to the point to where your income is going negative. You're starting to lose money consistently on a monthly basis because you're betting more than you should, and Vegas always wins unless you're really, really lucky. Because like, for anybody who knows, like Dana, who owns the UFC, he gambles a lot of money, but he has an insane amount of wealth, so he's able to kind of get away with it. Maybe you could call it a problem, but it's actually not necessarily affecting him, at least not that I'm aware of, economically. That's the case where if it's hurting kids, then
you just giving away free money. I'm good. Like, regardless of how much it is or whatnot, that's still a lot. But like I said, regarding with his situation, more information and more details is needed, and I don't know exactly when that will come out. Will somebody leak it? Will they kind of brush it off until later into the year? I mean, we've seen the NCAA handle things swiftly and not handle things swiftly.
Sounds like this one's going to be handled in-house, and then the NCAA is going to have to make that decision, obviously, on,
Okay, so him going to rehab is part one of it. Like I said, I can see 2 or 3 games, anything outside of that, depending on how much, how recent, or when were like the last recent bets. Is this something that's like from 2 years ago, and like last year he really didn't do anything, or he wasn't betting on collegiate sports? Like, there's a lot of different strings that you can kind of pull that could make it a lot worse, or could make it not as impactful.
So the problem with the NCAA's book, right? And they didn't put a timeline on when they're going to put the hammer down. But back in 2023, they amended the NCAA guidelines. So now it says student athletes who wager on their own games, which he did in 2022 when he played for Indiana, or on other sports at their own schools, face permanent loss of collegiate eligibility in all sports.
That doesn't mean it's not saying.
Doesn't mean that's where it'll go, but they have
exactly. That's still a wide range. Like, that's the worst of the worst, but they can choose on how he responds and acts and show improvement on stuff. So I think they're getting their chips in order to this. The public is going to be one of the last people to know about the situation. they always handle things a lot quicker and it breaks later.
For sure. Like I said, hopefully, whether it's a super big deal for him or if it's a little bit of a problem and he's doing this stuff for PR, I hope it's just one of few stories. I don't want to keep hearing this more and more, and that's my fear. It was interesting as we wrap it up here, watching them break the news on ESPN and, quietly remove the.
It was sad. It wasn't interesting. It was sad.
Well, I mean, just the shame of quietly removing the FanDuel sponsorship on the bottom corner of their graphic, like talking about this stuff while you're sponsored head to toe in heels and BetMGM, FanDuel, Kalshi, Polymarket. Gee, I wonder why kids struggle with gambling today. That's my 2 cents this morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate you as always, my guy. We'll talk again tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Late night with Nick Wyman coming up next.